Like, that would be cool if I could say her long enough by Charlie, like, one of his tattoos just magically, like...
That's like a Flash episode.
Really?
Something like that.
That'd be sweet.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Sometimes I just like to picture that John's in his basement playing that drum solo. Sweat just pouring off of him. Hello and welcome to the show, Louisville's best podcast. Thank you for joining us this week. Excited to talk about tonight's topic. But before we do, just real quick, how's everybody doing? John, super producer, what's up, man?
The only thing I don't play on that is the drums.
Oh.
I mean, of course, I'm using GarageBand to do it, but that's what it is. Having a good week. It's been a great week for me so far, and so I'm glad it's over. That's it.
Have you recovered from seeing Pennywise?
Oh man, I could give a review of that.
No, not a full review. Just...
Oh, that's right, because Brian let me do a full review upstairs, and Tim hid in the kitchen underneath the table with like taco shells in his ears or something.
I was hungry.
I will say this about it, and
20 minutes later.
well, no, I mean it could be 20 minutes. My daughter made me go see it. She kept begging and begging and begging, and finally I took her, and it's good. It's a good movie. I give it 3.5 stars
Out of 5?
out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of 12. Okay.
I give it 3.5 red balloons out of 5.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Well played.
99 red balloons.
I like the first one better. I personally like it better. She loves this one. I like the first one. Now, this one's got a lot more jump scares on it. If you're looking for jump scares, this is the one to go see.
Pennywise will make you
Because it had the
jump,
one really good jump scare in the first one with the slideshow
with the clown.
that made Brian cuss. One of the first times I've ever heard
Yeah.
him say a cuss word. Susie thought it was hilarious when it happened.
The clown room, yeah.
Yeah, this is full of those. This is full of those type
nonstop.
of jump scares.
We just don't need a room full of clowns, John.
Charlie?
It was good.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, buddy. Thank you for asking.
Anything exciting this week? Did you dog sit?
I did not dog sit this week, but I dog sit next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to radar?
No, this is I did get some exciting news. I will be dog sitting Radar soon,
Okay.
or like next spring. So
Okay.
it's exciting times.
Okay.
But no, I have 4 Yorkshire Terrier mixes.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. No, they're good dogs.
We'll say it there for you. Brian, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing so well, I've already been told I had to turn it down. That's how
Yeah,
good
we
I'm
had to
doing.
restart the program because Brian was off work today and started off the program just like screaming like a banshee.
That's right. I got in here and I turned it up to 11 people.
Still turning it up to 11. Hold on,
That's
I got to
right.
take this down. There
That's
you go.
right.
Are you like at football games? Do you yell and scream like this?
Absolutely.
Of course you do.
Absolutely. Just like I yell and scream when I'm in church. Praise the name of Jesus.
Holy
Hallelujah.
cow. I'm deaf now. Charlie's only side of the headphones is
Charlie only
working
had one
just
good ear to start
exploded.
with, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Brian is discovering the fact that we got new wires on our microphones this evening.
Brian found his
It's
voice.
like
He's-
crystal clear.
He's
coming
blowing
over
them
here.
out. Yeah, it's
Not crystal meth. We're not talking about that stuff.
Oh, gosh.
don't get
And finally,
started.
Aaron, not in Mesquite, but Aaron is at the Area 51 location on site. Aaron, how are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
We
Everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm here at Area 51. We've got a decent sized crowd. We're staying outside the fence right now. We're looking at the guards. The guards are looking at us. It's a lot of fun.
Anything crazy going on?
Some guy did a Naruto run into the electric fence. That was pretty funny. But
Okay.
other than that, not much. I'm gonna keep it on mute a lot though, so you won't hear this crowd the whole time.
Okay,
so.
all right.
Did you all see the Facebook video, the GIF the guy had of they were out there?
The news
reporter. The guy's in the news room behind him.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did have
Fantastic.
that. What was it? The Blink 182?
Oh, yeah.
Artist who, like, he
That
actually
dude's
recorded something.
insane.
He recorded something in like the Naval Academy or whatever.
He
It's like,
released what he said was alien video, and the Navy's like asking him where he got that video. You shouldn't have released it or whatever. That dude is insane.
hey,
I was on Ground Zero on that show the other night, looking at their Facebook page, and they had like this story And it literally was like, Navy confirms UFOs are real.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's getting nuts.
So speaking of the Area 51 raid, that is going on as we're speaking today on the podcast, and we're going to talk about aliens tonight. But before we do have a voicemail from last week. John's going to get it pulled up here. I got to give him a moment.
I wasn't prepared.
We talk about it
See, I
every
got
week,
this place turned up this week.
John's got he's all out of control.
We're turned up and tore up. Which one is it?
Ryan is talking so loud, I almost crapped myself 3 times.
Last week we talked about forgotten snacks from our childhood, different candies, different assorted crackers, better cheddars. What was yours, Charlie?
Everything.
He had Ecto Cooler.
Ecto Cooler.
By the way, I did try the better cheddars with the can of cheese as you
Did
recommended,
you?
and it is addictive. Yes.
Nice. Look at you.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, so
I got it
here is our voicemail. Here we go.
Well, I mean, okay.
How dare you not mention my candy during the Snacks podcast? Hit it, boys. Oompa, oompa, oompa dee doo. There was given no quarter. Please don't eat the web squirters. Whatever you do, don't go full Aaron, or else we'll treat you like a Karen. Whatever you do, don't eat the red shorts, or you'll get the Hershey squirts, or you'll get the Hershey squirts, or you'll get the Hershey squirts. Oompa, oompa, oompa-dee-doo. That was our message for you. Your podcast stinks.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that was Willy Wonka. Not really sure.
That was his cousin Billy. Wonka.
Billy Wonka.
He had me until he said you get the Hershey squares.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
classic.
Aaron, did you hear that one?
I cannot hear anything over the crowd. You'll have to play it for me later. It sounded
Okay.
funny, though. You guys were cracking up.
Yeah. So Area 51 raid is going on right now. So we thought we'd talk about aliens tonight. No personal stories tonight. Nobody's going to talk about when they were abducted or anything like that. So,
Well, some of us could if you really wanted
Yeah.
to.
but what we thought was we would talk about just some different aliens from pop culture. Your favorite aliens, the best aliens you think, but we're going to do 2 different categories. First category, the best alien from either a movie, TV show, movie, comic books, whatever, that was the best villain, the best evil alien out there. So I want to start with our resident evil guru of terrible people in movies. I can't think of the word. I want to say creatures, but it came out as terrible people. So that's just how
You
my
mean like I was the guru of terrible people? Like,
Charlie,
thanks.
Charlie, who's all the terrible people you know? But anyways,
It's a
Charlie,
long list.
evil creature, alien from a movie. Or whatever.
I would say the Predator. The Predator is my favorite evil character from like alien type character. I'm a big science fiction fan. But most of the science fiction characters that are aliens that I like are the good people, you know. So, but the Predator films, I've watched all of them, and some of them are so awful. The most recent one, we went and saw it.
Yes.
But
Autism's the next step of evolution.
it's the next step in human evolution.
Thank you, Olivia.
1, 2, and 3 were great.
Yeah.
I don't count the Alien vs. Predator ones. And then if I had to pick a second, it would be the Alien.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. The alien one, I just feel like the first one was just so well done. It's such a great, and then they followed it up with a great like army type aliens movie as well. I don't know if we're going to jump in there.
No, the first Alien film is a suspense film, and the second one is really kind of created the action horror genre.
Yeah, it's good. All right, Brian.
Well, first I was going with my favorite alien, but
Alf.
exactly, yeah, that's who that was going to be. But if we're going to talk about villain aliens, I have to start off with one who started off as a villain but then changed his ways,
Okay.
and that would be Stitch.
Good
Came in,
choice.
total world domination, like most villains do, and then boom, the kid has a ice cream cone, and man, just melts your heart. What can you say?
That has one of the greatest scenes I believe in all of movie history is when she's praying that God sends an angel and then he like bursts out.
Yeah.
That's just Perfect comedy.
I like the scene at the end. Me and Carlos still laugh. Is where he gets into the laundry, puts a bra on his head, and look like Batman.
Yeah.
That's one of the best. We always laugh at that one.
John, your favorite evil alien?
Okay, I'm gonna go back to my childhood on this because they freaked me out the first time I saw them. Is the V's?
Oh yeah.
The V's are definitely the best.
For those of you who don't know, V was a science fiction miniseries on ABC
ABC, yeah,
in
might as
the
well.
early 80s.
Where you would peel somebody's face.
Well, and the
Faces
scene
get
that the
peeled
scene
off.
that really kills you with them is when they finally reveal who they truly are, because the guy's like in the like vent, and he watches them and they're talking, and she pulls out that guinea pig and eats the guinea pig. I was like, holy cow, this is going to be amazing. Yeah, I was terrified that the V's were actually going to show up when I was a kid. That was my thing. Except I wanted the toys. They had the V toys like on the miniseries, but you never got to have them in the stores. And I was like, man, I wish I had those things. The mothership and all that type of stuff would have been awesome. Yeah, V's are definitely my top pick.
NBC, that's who had it.
For me, I kind of went way old school and went to the aliens from War of the Worlds, and the original.
Now you're talking about the Tom Cruise
No,
War of the
no.
Worlds or the original?
the original H.G. Wells one that it was told over the radio and caused the mild panic to happen.
Mild, yeah.
Yeah. I remember reading that book as a kid, and it was one of those older books that had like each chapter kind of had like a small drawing, like a hand drawn thing. And I remember seeing the picture of the aliens and just thinking about how like they would see what looks like a great light coming over a hill and thinking something saved them, and it turned out to be like the alien. And then when Tom Cruise remade it, it wasn't great, but at the same time, it presented the mass destruction.
But it came
very
out.
well.
It came out right after 9/11
Yeah.
took place, and people. It really, really hit home with people. This refugee type mentality of what would it look like if there's a refugee crisis in
Yeah.
America, and that's what really made it kind of creepy to me.
Right.
And that's good. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought the kid who played his son was a complete doof, but
Right.
I gotta see this. I gotta
see these destruction.
frick no, dude. I'm out. I've been running.
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with Tim Robbins in the basement trying to dig a hole.
But I thought it was a nice description of an alien, and just to have him defeated by such a simple thing was kind of a unique way of doing things. So, Aaron, if you can hear us, your favorite evil aliens.
Yeah, mine's actually related to yours, Tim. Mine is the Lectroids, and they are from Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, yeah.
And supposedly, in that version, the radio broadcast was covering up their actual invasion, and now they're posing as humans all around us, and they all have names to start with John, like John Big Booty and John Smallberries, and all that. Yeah, all that.
That was the best part.
That is a great, underrated cult classic movie. If you haven't seen it, Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. So,
All right, that's
definitely
good.
worth checking out.
So now kind of flipping the script. I don't want to say your favorite good alien, but just your favorite alien that wasn't a villain. It could be a comedic alien, just one that you enjoyed, or just something that was not from Earth that you just thought was a great character. So, John, starting off with you, or do you need a minute?
No, I've got mine.
Okay, go ahead.
E.T. all the way. Love it. Still to this day, love E.T. E.T. is the greatest. It's really it touches the heartstrings.
Yeah, go phone home, okay? That's what I'm going to tell you to do.
Sorry, Brian.
Get some Reese's Pieces.
Brian's been winning all day. I had to take that from him. It's just been a winning day for Brian.
I got to look another one up.
Yeah, E.T. Definitely E.T. And there's nothing. I don't think there's really any other aliens out there that really match up with that. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Unless you're talking about that. Unless you're talking Flight of the Navigator. That was kind of a,
Excuse me, Mac and Me. Hello, that's way better.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Have you been taken over by Paul Rudd, Aaron?
Yeah.
Is that the movie where the kid rolls down the hill?
Yeah,
The wheelchair?
the one that Paul Rudd shows that clip every time he's on Conan, to Conan's anger. Yes, and Charlie is wearing a Conan shirt. Good stuff there. Any other last ET words, John?
No, but if I had to pick another one out of that, I'd say the aliens from Close Encounters of a Third Kind were also pretty cool, especially when he comes out and smiles. Did I take your second one?
No,
bro?
no,
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Told you. Oh, no.
I mean, we Elliot. Elliot. He's walking around because I remember when I was a kid though they were like,
You know, John did that voice like all the time.
Yeah, and of course I remember when I was young. Of course, our fundamental Baptist background was like, he's trying to be the Christ with that healing fingers. I was like, what? His neck comes out of his neck extends. I don't think he's trying to be the Christ. They were wild back then. Hey, here's Uncle C.T., the heart of gold. He dies and comes back to life. He's the resurrection. No, I don't think so, dude. Never mind.
Wow, you just took it to a whole other level.
Yeah, but that's what I remember. I mean, that's fan favorite. I still got an ET stuffed animal in a trunk at home.
Bet you do.
He's in the trunk. We don't let him out.
Because he's real.
Scratching at it. Oh, we only get him out when we need healed. All right, Charlie.
Worf from Star Trek.
Oh,
Blade.
why didn't I think of Worf?
Because you stole E.T., that's why.
I was too quick on the draw with ET.
I mean, you did.
I got confused about you said the worst Alien, and I was thinking like ones that I hated, and I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead and say that. But
All
let
right.
me go on Worf. Okay, my of the Star Trek series, I'm the one outlier in the world that says that by far my favorite is Deep Space Nine,
Well,
and it got
Aaron-
even better when Worf joined. But I loved Worf in Next Generation. In all the films, perhaps today is a good day to die.
Oh, that is amazing line.
It's Generations, right?
No, it's in First Contact.
First Contact, yeah.
He's got
Which is the like number 3 favorite Star Trek film.
he's got
to me.
where he's captain of the Defiant.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well,
Well, that's why they brought him into. That's why they brought him into Deep Space Nine, so he could be the captain of the Defiant.
You ready with Aaron? Aaron, Deep Space Nine.
Hold on, I gotta turn the crowd back on. Yeah. Deep Space Nine is fantastic, super underrated. Yeah, I agree 100% with Charlie. It is the best Star
About
Trek.
once a month at work, Aaron will just randomly start talking about Deep Space Nine to me.
As we should.
You know, on the episode, blah blah blah. When I'm like, when Cisco did. Okay, Aaron, thank you. Anyways, go ahead.
the worst alien ever depicted in all of movie, television, and literature history is Paul from that god awful movie.
that was
Paul.
a terrible movie.
that movie was just nothing but a hate rant. I mean, that's all you can say about that thing. It was a hate rant because I sat down and tried to watch it one night on Comedy Central. I was like, man, this just makes me bitter about everything. I can't even watch this,
It is not a happy movie.
which is sad because I really like Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. But it was just
when they're
it was
in the
horrible.
when they're with Edgar Wright, when he's directing them, that's what they're at their best. Complete rabbit trail. But I wanted to mention this last night. I just flipped on the TV on USA because that's where wrestling is and that's where it usually stays. And the unedited version of The Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson.
Oh yeah,
I was like, and it wasn't like
Really?
super late. It was like 11 at night. I was like, really?
I haven't seen it.
It was
Unrated.
it was worse than Deadpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson was just like
Bingo.
Wah! All right.
Anyway, sorry.
Brian's still searching because I took his.
No, I mean, I've had a lot taken tonight.
Well, I'm gonna go with Stitch again.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, that would
No,
be.
I'm going off the rails. I'm going full. This is full Brian, full geek here,
Uh-oh.
and I'm going to go with Gildor from the Cosmic Key of Masters of the Universe movie.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow, that is deep cut.
I went deep.
Wow.
I was going to do Spock, but
I just glazed over because he
Yeah.
said I was like, what?
He said Masters
kind
of
of
the
like I
Universe.
phoned home while you were over there taking ET.
Wow. Yeah, that's a very deep cut right there. That's extremely deep.
I mean, you
cut.
already took Alf. You know, you took.
He took ET. You could go with Al.
No,
We can
it's
go with
okay.
Al. We can.
Well,
We'll give it
Alf
back.
was my favorite sitcom.
You want me to stop
Right.
it and you can go back in
Yeah,
time?
can you
and we
rewind in
just
time?
flip
Oh,
it?
if I had the Cosmic Key, I could. Oh, what?
Yeah. I thought a couple
Hey,
different.
Brian.
Give a man a
I'm
pair of
sorry.
decent
Go ahead,
pair of
Aaron.
shoes.
Aaron.
It-
Run his life.
When they finally make the new He-Man movie, do you want Gildor to be in it?
I want
It was
Orko.
okay. I would prefer
Orko.
Orko, but yeah.
Orko,
I mean, I don't
the
mind if he's
OG.
in it. I thought it was interesting the way they brought him in since he wasn't in any of the other cartoons. But
Yeah. I thought about a couple different ones. You know, I thought about recent stuff like, you know, Groot or Rocket. But I went back to my childhood and two things stuck out to me. One was the Alf sitcom. Alf is I've now that I've read the behind the scenes of Alf about how the guy that created Alf was insane and basically tortured his cast. But Alf, have you not heard that
Well,
story?
look at the cast he had. I
That's
mean,
true.
come on. There's no bright spots in that.
But
cast.
we used to watch Alf, and then we used to watch the Alf cartoon. and just loved that he liked to eat cats and just different things like that.
I like the
So,
cartoon better. I never did like the show. I never watched it.
And then I know Charlie's going to give me a look, and that's okay. But my favorite aliens of all time have to be the Ewoks.
I'll give you the look.
Yeah, they're just lovable.
Oh my
teddy
gosh.
bears.
Yeah, I'm not
horrible.
gonna give you a look. I just have that was my concern about using anything from Star Wars because
Technically, they're all aliens.
well, yeah, I mean there is no Earth in the Star Wars universe, and there's not really a what's the word we're looking for here. There's not like a centralized planet like it is on in any other science fiction. So that was not. I mean, I don't. You can love the Ewoks all you want, buddy. I picked Worf.
I sat down.
I know
So-
what you're saying though. Like, who is the alien? Who's not the alien in Star Wars? Basically, because technically,
I
they're-
sat down and
there's-
watched Return of the Jedi last week, and the more we got into the Battle of Endor, the madder I got. I was like,
That's
there is
because
no
you're an Empire lover.
way that the
Well,
Imperial
he's-
Army.
He's also a military strategist who.
But there's
I
John.
teach history.
That's why I
They're
love Rogue
guerrilla
One.
warfare.
Not that I'm trying to take over the Ewoks, but however, in the scope of history, there
you
is
hear
no
that?
way
But
that
however-
farmers
Yes, but
would defeat the British
Okay,
Empire if
since
they
we-
did.
The 3%, baby. We're going full. We're
not in a single
Roll it
stand-up
up.
battle.
roll it up.
No, because
3%.
as the history teacher in the room, the American Army lost more battles than they won in the Revolution. Okay,
3%, man. That's all that matters.
Well, we didn't see the other fights on other planets. Maybe they're even smaller aliens. Maybe the Jawa planet got
All I
just
say-
Where's my Betsy
demolished.
Ross flag? I need to bring that out.
I got one in the house.
John,
nice.
John, Chewbacca got in an AT-ST or whatever, okay? So it wasn't just like primitive rocks and spears the whole time. They got a hold of the Empire's weapons and turned it against them.
If they had
And then they
sent-
clotheslined a bunch of people.
if the
too.
Empire had the Mud Troopers there from Solo, a Star Wars story fighting, they would have
Hey.
the Ewoks would have lost.
But
that
guess
one.
what? They didn't.
That was a good one.
Stupid
They-
stormtroopers.
And if they'd had the strategy of Rogue One, then that would have been
All right,
game
Aaron,
over. Thanks for playing. Fried Ewok. then after
lovable,
dinner.
whatever.
Darth Vader had been down there on the planet instead of trying to reconnect with his.
I was trying to get the Battle of the Republic to start playing when Tim was talking about the Ewoks. Man, that upsets me.
Let me run the soundboard.
Oh, wow.
True.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa.
Man.
He just big time.
Wow.
He big times us all the time, but he's
Mr.
good
Big
at it,
Chair
so-
over there. That's my chair, too, by the
Okay,
way.
Aaron.
It's a nice chair.
So new podcast rule: only one sound effect at a time.
Okay.
My favorite aliens are the ones you never think about. The Transformers. They are aliens.
Oh.
Cybertron.
Oh,
Played.
that's good.
He
They
stoned
are the
us on
best.
that one. He got us.
Well played.
Yeah, the Transformers are just amazing. Not the Michael Bay films, but the original.
Aaron just,
What's wrong with the
cartoon
Michael
and
Bay
toy lines.
films?
oh, there's a lot,
first
John.
one
Would you
is
like me to go
fine.
through it?
I mean,
But
you know,
King
King Arthur showed
oh,
up.
Aaron's still talking.
They
Man,
did
sorry.
robot testicles.
That's what I said. They had jingling balls underneath one of them. How could you go wrong
They
with
turned
that?
it into a fart jokes movie, okay?
That was horrible.
The
Those
people
movies-
on Preston loved it. They loved it.
And then, yo, dog, look at that. Look at that.
After this, we're going to go see Fast and Furious.
That dog robot got
How'd you
jingle
make fun of
balls.
your favorite movie?
Look at dog.
I
Look
don't
at
like.
it.
I don't like the original Fast and Furious
Oh,
as
shush.
much as I like the newer ones
Oh,
where they've turned
man.
into an action hero.
His wrecking balls will turn into the jinglers. I can hear him right now out there. I'm
You
sorry.
can hear him.
I can hear it. Well, yeah, you can hear him in the movie. It's like dong, dong.
Oh, before we close out
This
tonight,
podcast
Aaron,
is
what's going on in Area
on fire.
51 now after we've been talking?
Not a whole lot. I've actually stepped away from the crowd, and I think I found a little hole in the fence. I'm kind of messing with it. Hold on a second. Let me get my lockpick out.
This is what this podcast is all about.
That's right.
Making news, breaking history.
I mean, we all
Yeah.
had to put
Yeah.
up $17.50 to get him out there, so come on.
Yeah.
1750.
It's like expensive
Okay,
Uber.
something's happening back at the crowd. I can't see. There's something going on. They're shining a light into the crowd. There's some yelling going on.
Is it like a scene from Mars Attacks? Like,
Yeah, they're about to release a dove. Hold on, let me see what's gonna happen.
that's not a dove, Aaron. That's not a dove.
So
Stop,
they're
drop, and
releasing
roll.
a dove. There's a hippie girl. She's releasing a dove. It's flying up into the air, and oh crud! Hold on. Oh, I gotta. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Hold on. There's something. Hold up. Yeah, I'll be right back.
It's
Okay.
like listen to the
All right,
Orson
hold on.
Welles in the 30s.
We'll waste some time for a second. All right. Other aliens that you hate? Anybody else? I
Well,
mean,
I'll give an
besides
honorable
the
mention
Ewoks.
that I like was Skeletor, of course. So
I wanted to say I'm blanking on the movie with Rowdy Piper.
They live.
They live.
Yes.
Those aliens. That creeped me out as a kid.
Love
So
that
wait,
movie.
so-
Movie's awesome.
let's ask this question: do zombies count as aliens?
No.
No.
Well, it depends on the film.
Okay.
If you were to go with the classic 1987 horror film Night of the Creeps, the aliens are the zombies are caused by alien slugs that were jettisoned to Earth by two very small aliens who had stolen it from a secret laboratory in space. So they jettison these aliens, these slugs, then they jump in through your mouth.
Okay.
The movie Slither stole a lot from
Ooh,
that film.
I love Slither.
But so in that case, also in the film Dance of the Dead, where the zombies attack the prom, that
Okay, I've
is a
seen that one.
conspiracy as to what could have caused the aliens. There is also a film called...
This should be Battle Hymn of the Republic for Charlie.
Gosh, what's that movie called?
My eyes have seen
Wild
that
Zero.
glory.
Wild Zero is the weirdest movie ever made. I mean,
Wild Zero?
yes. Well, for sure from Louisville, Wild, but yes, Wild Zero. It is, okay, so there's this real band in Japan called
This is
Guitar
close to
Wolf.
Battle of the Republic as I can get right now.
Guitar Wolf is this like rockabilly band / punk band in Japan, and they're like this huge sensation. So this guy decides to make a movie about them. Then there's this guy named Ace, and
I feel like I know this movie.
I've mentioned it quite a bit.
Okay.
Ace is like their super fan. Ace is also in love with a girl, and then aliens attack, and then they turn everybody into zombies. And we find out the girl that Ace is in love with is not a girl, but he doesn't care. He loves her anyway. And the entire film, Guitar Wolf is yelling for Ace to help them. When they yell, they go, Ace! Because it's an accent. So, yeah, in that, so there's 3 examples of zombies being caused by aliens.
Yeah, real quick, Arian.
Aryan 51.
Yeah. You okay, Aaron?
Yeah, there was like a riot. People are running everywhere. I'm hiding in a building right now. But there's a lot of weird lights and spotlights outside. I'm not sure what is going on. I'm a little freaked out. But no, ow.
Aaron?
Aaron.
Are
you with us, Aaron?
And thus Aaron has spent his life in dedication to the podcast.
Well, that's the show, guys.
That freedom ring, baby.
Charlie, where can they catch Louisville's Best Podcast?
There's so many places I don't even know. There's Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Anchor, Podbay. Overcast. Probably just drive around Dixie and listen from my car. There's all kinds of places to find it.
All right, sorry, Brent.
R.I.P. Aaron. See you later, player.
Aaron.